it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're focusing in on the psychopathic love, the love bombing, the idealized obsessive love that occurs in a psychopathic relationship. Obsessive meaning they cannot stop. Compulsive meaning that they create a compulsion within you. So it becomes very much an obsessive love. They profess that they want to run away with you. They want to get married. They would give anything for you. That they can't wait to see you. There's very much a pleading. There's very much a heightened sense of desire. There's a sense of this urgency that they can't live without you. And then text me when you get home, and text me when you're here, and text me when you're there, and send me a picture of you here. It's just a very obsessive, meaning it just doesn't stop. It's like a one-track mind. They seem to be honing in on you. In this love bombing stage, it's very much received by others in a very rewarding, sort of appreciative manner, because all of a sudden, here's this individual who's giving them all this love and attention. This is what we call love bombing. When there's this heightened sense of euphoria, this heightened sense of dopamine, this reward feeling when you're engaged with psychopathic obsessive love. They act like they cannot live without you. They act like they can't stop thinking about you. They can't stop dreaming about you. In fact, they'll probably tell you about these erotic dreams that they had of you. They want to taste you. They want to touch you. They want to, they use a lot of sexualization. And they do this really to engulf you. And hitherto, having met them, you think about your goals, your values, your boundaries, where your life was at, and then really register where your life was at before you met this person. And see how perhaps you were targeted, why you were targeted, when you were targeted. And if you can reflect back and see the state of your life at that time, things will really begin to understand why you had perhaps attracted or ignored the red flags from this individual and you allowed them into your life. Perhaps an obsessive love, a high thrill, a high risk relationship is what you sort of needed to jumpstart your life. You felt that you had a huge void. Part of you was feeling an emptiness, a lack, something was missing, something was, not going as well or what you feel you had deserved. And you were perhaps in a certain state of need in this time of your life that hitherto had allowed this person to be attracted and essentially get away with what they got away with. So when we talk about obsessive love, there's definitely a high risk element that we see in psychopathic love patterns, where they are in essence then trying to get away with something unscrupulous in their love making to you, unscrupulous in their grooming and conditioning of you. They're really trying to saturate your mind with their poison at that point. They are sussing you out. They're able to see really in a quick second notice when you're giving in to their high-risk requests, their high-risk activities, their high-risk statements, things that are very promiscuous, highly seductive in nature. And of course, there's romantic love, and not that there isn't a touch or element of this in all romance, but when it's very much an obsessive love bombing, it tends to overtake one's life. And overtake one's life is really what it says. It's an overtaking. It's an overwhelming. It's getting you to say yes when you mean no, but it's getting you to say yes when it's having you agree to live your life according to their terms, with their promises of love. And you're really absorbed in their promises and their escapades, and feeling like you're giving yourself really over to this person, and it becomes an addiction. This obsession then becomes an addiction. You actually become hooked to their statements, towards their altered reality, towards their altered obsessive love, which has nothing to do with love. It has everything to do with love bombing. It has everything to do with conditioning you to becoming dependent on them. And the issue with the obsessive love is that they know it has nothing to do with a genuineness. It has everything to do with a performance and an execution. An execution meaning a performance, a role that they are crafting specifically for you, in which they will do the same unto somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. So they don't have an attachment per se to the person that they are targeting. The person who they're targeting has something specific that they want: sex, money, housing, food, clout, connections. There's something that they're after, power, and it's giving them this heightened gratification or supply when we talk about a psychopath. And it very much is fodder for their soul. They very much are trying to take something from you. And when you reflect back to where your life was in the beginning and before hitherto meeting this individual, you'll see perhaps these psychopathic tells where they tell you a little bit about their personality. They might say, well, I've always been this way, or I was abused in this way. Or, they will tell you a little bit about what it's like to be really behind the mask, if you will, living in the void, living in the cold with which their emotional body exists. Remember, the brain scans of these psychopathic individuals show a heightened sense of presence of dopamine, 4 times that of the regular individual. So they're operating with a different deck of cards. They are operating with a different landscape. They are operating with a different color palette with which they are pursuing people and living their life. They are an interspecies predator, which meaning they look to others to which they can destroy, maim, really hurt, kill, and leave in a wake of destruction. And why this is? Because this is the person that they are. The obsessive love bombing is meant to program you, condition you to become essentially hooked, addicted, involved in all of their love bomb and uniqueness that they are hitherto promising you. But as you begin to emerge into the relationship, and realizing that they aren't capable of backing up their promises, that you're experiencing the cognitive dissonance, the gaslighting, and causing your life to somewhat derail and become very vengeful to them, very angry, looking for explanation, wondering why they're disappearing, wondering why they're not following through, and why you get this sort of lull and then this high, lull, then this high, and then, you're satisfied or pacified by being with them. And even if it's just being in their presence, then you're addicted. If you feel like you're just almost like a zombie, basically salivating at the jaws, or as they say, when you're around them, it's because you are in the presence of a addiction cycle, and an obsessive love bombing that a psychopath would have you engaged in. And because of their proneness to boredom, they can just, and if you've allowed them to violate you, they can call you at any time, day or night, work or not working, transcend your boundaries, your energy. They want you to constantly be thinking about them. So again, this is obsessive and compulsive love relationship, or really abuse relationship. The psychopath does not have an ability to love or that warmth whatsoever. Their warmth is really ignited by a passion of over-sexualization, controlling and manipulating others. And they think about this more so really than most people, and to a degree of manipulation that most people hitherto would not even fathom. And when people say they're really good at manipulating, this is not a compliment. This is, it might be a short-lived sort of accomplishment, but in the long run, there's going to be a price to be paid. There's going to be some error. There's going to be some breakdown of communication. There's going to be somebody hurt, basically. And as they say, it's always fun until somebody gets hurt. And until you can really realize that this obsessive love is an obsessive addiction, and it has nothing to do with reflecting your strength, your emotion, your emotional ingenuity, your excitement and passion for life, that really it's a taking, you'll begin to appreciate the act of you separating from them, and get to appreciate your life, and hopefully return to your life with a degree and semblance of sanity, peace, and order, and having not lost too much time, energy, and emotion swept up by them. And, going through this, you might feel a lot of up and down and withdraw from them, feeling a sense of really deep loneliness because they have taken a part of you. A lot of my clients feel this, that I lost a part of myself for this person. They seem to be so unique and different. Realize that they are unique and different. This person is a psychopath. This person is a disordered individual. Someone who is going to condition you to become obsessed and think about them relentlessly so that you can't live your life as one person. They're going to get you distracted, derailed, dismounted, so you're constantly thinking about them. That is the root of psychopathic obsessive love bombing. And if you've experienced this and that you're relating to this, realize that perhaps it's not a healthy or positive aspect in your life. This individual perhaps needs to be let go. Most indelibly needs to be released and let go, and return to yourself and begin to resensitize yourself to a semblance of reality, and treat them with a dispassion and indifference and neutrality, and stop overrating their obsessive love, because it's really just targeted to derailing you, dismantling you, and creating a really negative, destructive force in your life. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos, that they do help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.